Okay, I'm David Levy. I'm director of what's called the Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism at Oxford University in England.
D'accord. Pourquoi avez-vous accepté de venir ici faire la conférence de rentrée à l'EJCM?
I was very honoured to be invited to come and talk here, and I was really talking about the research we've been doing about the future for journalism, the balance between the different threats and opportunities in the changing business of journalism. We've been doing a lot of research on that across about 8 different countries, looking at developments over the last 10 years, and I was pleased to take the opportunity today to come and talk to the school here as a group of students who are embarking at the beginning of their careers in journalism to try and give them my sense of what lies ahead in journalism, which is in the process of going through multiple changes.
D'accord. Je crois que vous avez des liens avec Marseille. Quels sont-ils?
I have 2 different links with Marseille. The first is that some of my family live in Marseille, and I have family here in Marseille, but I also did some research when I did my doctorate at Oxford. I wrote about l'histoire du mouvement ouvrier à Marseille sous le Front populaire, and in the years from 1936 to 1939. And when I read the newspapers here today about the government taking an interest in Marseille and thinking about the relationship between Paris and Marseille, I was reminded of a story that I know about from 1938. In 1938, there was a big scandal in Marseille. There was a fire in the Nouvelle Galerie in the Canebière in Marseille. More than 100 people died, and there was a government investigation which decided that the administration of the fire service in Marseille was unsatisfactory. And so what happened in 1938 is the government in Paris took direct control of the Marseille fire service. So I suppose I was just thinking this morning that having studied history sometimes is useful in understanding the present as well. So it seems as though that today in 2012, maybe there's a repetition of what happened in 1938.
Est-ce que vous pouvez nous parler de ce que vous avez expliqué pendant la conférence aujourd'hui devant les étudiants? Quel était le thème de la conférence?
The theme of what I was talking about today was threats and opportunities in the changing business of journalism, and I covered 4 main points. First, I talked about what I regard as the continuing importance of journalism. I see the key importance of journalism as being in helping democracy function, making sure that people are informed about what's going on, but that requires journalists who are determined, skeptical, truthful, and it requires journalism that has an impact, not just good journalism, but journalism that people pay notice to. Then I was looking at 3 big themes: changing consumer behavior, changes in journalism practice, and changes in business models. In essence, what I was saying is the dramatic changes in consumer behavior are reasons for journalists to be optimistic. There are more people reading more news than ever before. They're looking at it in more ways. It requires journalists to be pretty agile and adapt to new ways of looking at news, but it's an opportunity. It's great to be in a business where people want to read and want to use your product. So the consumer behavior is encouraging. Journalism practice is changing in a multiplicity of different ways, which I think gives great opportunities to people who are embarking on a career in journalism. Finally, when it comes to business models and what's happening in the economics, it's quite challenging. It's challenging because newspapers are struggling at the same time as newspapers are the primary source of employment of journalists and generating of new news. So what's needed is to try and find new ways to get people to pay for news. I think in markets the size of France, the United Kingdom, maybe one needs to see if people will pay for news on the internet, because I think it's hard to reach the size that one needs to make money out of advertising. But in summary, I think it's the opportunities outweigh the threats, but the hardest problems are around the economic viability of news and working out who's going to pay your salaries in 10 years' time. But I'm sure there'll be a solution, because journalists are known for their creativity and innovation, and I guess it's one of the challenges that you're going to face as you think about your career in the next few years.
Alors, est-ce que vous avez quelque chose à dire aux étudiants de l'EJCM qui commencent leur année, en français si possible?
Je crois que c'est un moment maintenant, il y a pas mal vous avez un mélange des problèmes qui affrontent le journalisme, mais aussi vraiment des grands espoirs et des grandes possibilités pour l'avenir dans le journalisme. Je crois maintenant c'est un moment que le journalisme est en plein changement et je crois que c'est un bon moment d'être jeune, d'être au début de la carrière en journalisme et en plus peut-être beaucoup plus qu'il y a 20 ans, 30 ans en tant que jeunes étudiants entrant au début de la carrière en journalisme. Je crois que c'est bien possible que vous aurez beaucoup plus de possibilités que les gens, il y a 30 ans, 20 ans, qui étaient obligés d'attendre pour que les vieux, comme moi, prenaient leur retraite et abandonnaient leur carrière pour laisser un peu de place pour vous. Je crois maintenant, avec les changements qui arrivent, je crois qu'il y a vraiment un premium en youth et dans le savoir-faire que vous pouvez apporter à l'avenir de la carrière de journalisme.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.